Hey, Culpeper Baptist Church, we are doing a special softball preview show for our 2020 season tonight. This week would have been the week we started playing softball, and obviously we can't play yet. We're hoping we're still going to be able to play later this year. But we thought we'd have some fun tonight and just share a little bit about our softball team and talk about kind of who we are, where we've been, and what we get to do together each year. Before we have some fun, though, I always want to make sure you know that we've had some great benefits from restarting our softball team 4 years ago. We started it just to kind of play together again. We had no idea that one of the great things it has done for us is to give us the 20-something ministry that we have and really brings a lot of energy to our church. So we're so grateful for that. And we're just going to take some time tonight to kind of go through our roster and talk about the skills and the personalities of the folks who make up our softball team. But in our church, you know we can't talk about today or the future without talking about the past. So we have a bunch of trophies out here tonight. You probably have not seen these trophies before. We got them out of our trophy case. So clearly we have a pretty remarkable past playing church softball. So Dave's going to start us off by telling us a little bit about where we've been in the past of Culpeper Baptist Church softball.
Well, I can go back to 1989 when I first started playing softball here at Culpeper. Of course, they'd had teams for years before that, but back then we actually had two teams. We had a young person team and the old guys team, and I came in here, I was in my 40s, and I played on the old guys team. And believe it or not, we still have a number of guys in the church that I played with over these number of years here. Paul Bates, Robert Ayler.
Paul Bates Sr.
Paul Bates Sr., right? Paul Bates Jr. still playing, but Paul Bates Sr. Robert Ayler played up, I believe Robert was in his early 70s when he was playing. And
he's still our biggest fan.
He's out at almost every game, and I can tell he'd still like to be playing. Curtis Brooking played back in the 90s. I played a few games with him. Wayne Carwile, Earl Edwards used to pitch. Lou Price, she played for many years. Lou and I played together. Ron Musselman, he played, but I'll just say Ron played, that's all. And Frank Jenkins, some of you know Frank Jenkins. I know you've heard the story about how he met his wife and she got him through school a couple of times. But Frank Jenkins, I believe, had more fun playing softball than anybody I've ever played with. He never took it seriously, but he had fun playing. And then Jack Persinger, one of our pitchers for several years. But we had some good teams back in those days. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you half these trophies up here that the old men won in our church league softball. Used to play up at Brandy Station up there. Terrible field. They had a drainage ditch that ran through the outfield that was probably 8 inches deep and about 2 foot wide. And you could be running after a fly ball in the outfield, hit that ditch, and it'd go over your head. But, those were the good old days.
Right. And we play at Lynn Park now, which beautiful new county park with some great fields for us to play on.
Great facilities.
Yeah.
Great facilities.
Yeah. So we kind of want to walk you through now where we are today and what we were looking forward to this season. And we're going to kind of go player by player, and we're going to start with our infielders and then move to our outfielders. So the first infielders, we often talk about these two together, Karen Ayler and Kathy Capaldo. So Dave, kind of give us a scout report on what we were looking for from them this year.
Well, I tell you what, these two ladies, I don't know if I've ever played softball with anyone that did not enjoy playing softball more than Karen and Kathy. They just flat out love playing. They like to play second base, their position they played for years. As a matter of fact, one of them has on their license plate 4 turns 2. Meaning position 4, second base, turns a double play. Yeah. So these ladies love to play softball.
Right.
They've shared that with their children as well, too.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Ayler is one of our coaches, and we would have brought him in tonight, but he would have had to talk about his family member, so we didn't want to put him in that spot. So, Karen and Kathy bring a lot to our team, and we're grateful for them. Suzanne, talk about Josh Whitley.
Yeah, Josh Whitley tends to play first base for us. Josh is actually not even at the break point. He's one of the younger. He's a younger guy. So with Josh, we get a sound first base. And kudos to Josh because 2 years ago, we lost Josh on, what did you say it was, Pastor Dan?
It wouldn't even, we were hardly started the game. I was still over here at the church because I had a meeting here.
Right.
So it was the first game we had played.
About the second inning, right? About the second inning.
And I was fully expecting to get a call that one of our team members would have gone to the ER at our first night, but I didn't think it was going to be one of my younger ones.
Yes, yeah. When we lost Josh that year, the average age of the team went up incrementally.
Yeah, blew out
because
his
he
Achilles.
was one of the younger players we had.
Josh is an amazing first baseman, soft hands, catch anything that's going to come over there, and big power.
Yeah, speed.
Good laid-back guy, too. I enjoy playing with Josh.
Yep.
All right, introduce us to a couple of our really young guns, Mark
yeah.
and Howie.
Okay, we're sticking in the infield. So first off, we have Mark Grimsley. And, you know, as I'm sitting here thinking, Mark is actually that guy that speaks softly, if you know him. He speaks softly, but on the softball field, he carries a big stick. And that's what Mark is for us. It's a lot of power, a lot of placement, I guess, ball placement with him. Mark's one of our local guys, Culpeper Eastern View product. So power hitter, that's what I think of with Mark. Solid in the outfield,
Has
infield.
one of the
so,
strongest arms anybody I've ever played with.
Yeah.
He can throw a baseball or a softball through a brick wall.
Cannon of an arm.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And just a good guy. Let's talk a little bit about Howie over at third base.
So yeah, Howie came to us kind of like Mark did. We got these guys as the 20-somethings, and again another product, local guy, Howie Soper. With Howie, I think of Howie and I think of intensity, and Howie definitely plays to win. So Pastor has to harness Howie sometimes because Howie is out there to play to win. Thinking of Howie, when he first came to us, Howie was not overall pleased with his first season. Set his sights on coming back, and we know that Howie has been a clutch hitter for us on the softball team.
Howie wants to be up to the plate in the big moments.
Yes, he does.
He likes the spotlight.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
yeah. Dave, talk a little bit about one of our foundational pieces in the infield, our pitcher, Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, I can't remember how many years that I've played with Anthony. It was long before Lindsay was playing at all. She was just a little girl, and Anthony's pitched for us, and good guy to play with. Like I say, I've known Anthony for many years, and I just enjoy playing with that whole family. Matter of fact, I know here a couple of years ago, I remember telling Robert Ayler, I said, I just like playing with your family. You know, they're just a good bunch of folks, and Anthony's the head of that family.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
And then Dan Strang has been a guy that's been with us on and off a little bit, was with us the first couple of years, played third base a lot for us. Just another one of kind of those young laid-back guys who can play, good athlete, good infielder, and can definitely hit the ball. And we always like it when Dan's able to join us. His work schedule gets in his way sometime from playing ball with us.
Yeah.
So. Talk a little bit about Morgan Capaldo, another one of the Ayler tree.
The Aylers go on vacation once a year, and everybody goes, and that takes 5 of our players.
Yeah,
and,
some churches take off the week that they got like summer camp going on at their church. We take off the week when the Aylers go on vacation.
Yeah, Morgan is of course, cousin to Lindsay, and a good ball player. She's a very strong hitter. And she's got a unique swing. When she swings and follows through, the bat hits her in the back, and you can hear it go slap, slap. But she's a lot of fun to play with. Has a good personality, and again, she's like the rest of the Aylers. She just loves to play softball.
Yeah.
Right, and Morgan keeps good banter going with the local umpire at every game she's at.
Yes, she does.
We can depend on her for that. All right, I'm going to flip to 3 old guys in a row here, part of the old brigade of our team. Steve McClure is one of our newest old guys, and he's really been a shot in the arm to the old part of the roster because he's quite an athlete. We can put him anywhere on the ball field, and he can play, and we often do put him anywhere on the ball field.
Yeah, he has played. He's played infield. He's played outfield.
Yeah.
He's pitched.
Yeah.
Steve is a real athlete.
Yeah,
Athlete.
don't get fooled by the age
Right.
category
Yeah.
you've assigned Steve.
Right.
Steve's a speedster.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
absolutely
Flat out can run.
Flat out
Yep.
can run.
Yeah, so when the young guys start getting a little too
Yes.
high and mighty, we remind them the old guys we got Steve with us. Donnie Johnston is one of the guys that when we're really pressed for a ball player, he'll come in and help us out. He always says, Dan, just call me if you know there's a night where you're only going to have 10 or 11 or something, you need a ball player. And Donnie will come on out there. I think the glove he uses, he must have gotten from Ty Cobb. I mean, it comes out there with that old glove, but can flat out play softball.
Yeah, he can. Donnie's a softball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And days gone by anyway.
Yeah, and the thing I'm always worried about when Donnie's out there, you don't want to make a big mistake on the softball field the nights Donnie is out there because it might show up in the paper.
Might show up
Exactly.
in the
You
paper, right?
got to
Yes.
be careful of that. And then Jim McGavran, another one of our great old guys who is quite an athlete, really has some deceptive speed. Again, he can get down the line. One of those guys who just play anywhere for us. Right. So, if we need him, he plays. If we don't need him, he just cheers us on. And, Jim's just one of those great guys for us.
Yeah, Jim and my brother played, believe it or not, played softball together for several years on other teams. And I didn't really know him until he started coming to church here, but he and my brother go all the way back to high school.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Brian Jones is another one that we get when we can get him. He gets caught up in some little league stuff every now and then. So, and Brian's one of those Northern Virginia commuters. So when we have a 6 p.m. start time or 6:30 start time, it's hard for him to get there. But Brian is a competitor.
Yes.
Brian wants to play. He'll get dirty. He'll do whatever he can. He wants to win. So, good guy. All right, so that's kind of our infielders. We kind of mix and match this group. So they don't all play infield all the time. Sometimes they'll play outfield. But I want to spend some time talking about our outfield next. Suzanne, start us off with the foundational piece in our outfield, which is our left fielder, Lindsay Ayler.
Lindsay Ayler, teacher by day, softball player by night.
Right.
That's what we have with Lindsay, and her last name, of course, carries the weight, at least as far as Culpeper Baptist Church softball. Lindsay's also a hitter.
Yeah.
Lindsay can put that ball where she wants it to go. She comes by way of Orange County High School, and I think Mary Washington is her college.
Mary Washington.
Not sure if Lindsay played
Yeah,
all
she played
throughout
Mary
college,
Washington.
but Lindsay brings it every game.
Yeah.
And she's also one of those that she's faithful here, but Lindsay also plays softball with other teams as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So
She's an athlete. She
Yeah.
really does.
She really is.
Strong arm.
Yeah.
A good ball player.
Yeah, and in slow pitch softball, your left fielder is a key
Yeah,
position,
that's right.
and that's why she's there, because she can
She's good.
flat out play left field. All right, let's switch.
guys have made the mistake of stepping in on Lindsay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's
They've
right.
made a mistake.
That's right. Dave, talk to us a little bit about Garrett Carroll.
Dan, you talked about the softball team sort of being the beginning of the 20-somethings. I've told my wife that I think it started with Garrett. His
Yes.
mom was going to play softball
Yep.
with us,
Right,
and she
Terry.
was in a car accident, couldn't play, so he wanted to play. So he asked us, hey, I've got some friends that I played baseball with. Do you mind if they come out?
Yeah.
So they came out, and here's, Howie and Mark.
Right.
And
Yep.
so I always feel like
Couple others.
Garrett kind of is the nucleus of starting that. But I think he's one of the ideal guys to have on a softball team.
Mm-hmm.
He has fun. He doesn't get serious about it. He has fun playing, and I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm a little worried about him. Sometimes he seems a little more focused on our left fielder than the actual game. Have y'all noticed that?
I don't know, right?
Every now and then there's a little problem with there, but no, good ball player.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day when Garrett learns to swing with his lower body. He's all arms right now. When
Okay.
he gets that lower body, he's going to wear out that picnic pavilion out there at Lynn Park, outside of right field. He's one of our big lefty hitters.
That's right.
Luke Doolin has been playing with us, I guess, for the last year or two. And
Couple of years,
Luke's
yeah.
one of our dads who's got 3 young kids, so we appreciate the effort. And Luke is just one of those guys. I can remember when I was a teenager playing softball with these kind of guys. You want Luke to hit it on the ground because he's so fast, nobody can throw him out.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about first to third speed. Luke has first to home speed. If you hit a ball in the outfield, even if it's a single, he can get home on that ball. He can flat out fly.
Very quick, very fast in the outfield. Sort of reminds me of myself back years ago.
Okay.
Back in the day, right?
Before the beard.
That's
Before
a
the
good
beard.
point.
Before the beard, yeah.
Before the beard.
And then Paul Bates Jr. Taking on the family tradition. Paul's been with us from the beginning. You know, last year Paul had the look of somebody who was kind of running for political office while he played. You know, he seemed to be more interested in what the opposing team dugout was thinking about him. So he was looking for votes. Is how I thought he was
He's
playing.
recruiting. He's recruiting.
But a good ball player. We get a lot out of him when we go against his brother's Methodist church team.
Absolutely.
Paul's all in those nights.
Fun guy to play with. He really is.
Yeah. Dave Mullins, who's here on the stage and in this broadcast, so we can't say but so much, but Dave is the glue that holds our team together, and truly even still one of the best athletes on our team, and makes such an impact on our young guys. And we put Dave anywhere that we need him. But Dave, tell us what your doctor said about you playing a few years ago.
Back when Dan was going to get start the team again, so happened I just had a physical that month in April, and I went in and I told my doctor, and I've been seeing this doctor for 30 years, and I said, Doc, I'm going to start playing softball again. And he said, Dave, are you sure? And I said, yeah. I said, I've been running a lot. He said, what position are you going to play? And I said, well, like always, I'll play the outfield. And he said, Dave, are you sure? He said, if I were you, I would go to third base or first base. He said, there's not as much movement over there. You don't have to take off after a ball. He said, Dave, to be honest with you, I'd go to the first base coaching box or the third base coaching box.
Keep you off the field.
There you go.
No, Dave's been a great part of who we are. And again, keeping with some family connections, we get Trevor Bates every now and then. Dave, tell us about Trevor on the ball field.
Right, that's a guy that we wish we could get back. He played with us, I guess, the first year we started playing, and he's very much like Luke, can get around in the outfield. If you had Luke and Trevor Bates in the outfield, you'd only play with two. Wow. You had to. That's how quick that he is.
Yep. Connor Davis is another young gun that kind of came through the Garrett family who played really well for us and also brings a lot of speed. Those young guys who can play the outfield and can cover it all that have been great. Susanne, we were really looking forward to a new ball player this year joining us on the team. Suzanne, tell us about Nathan Bopp.
So, yes, Nathan, I've gotten the chance just to come to get to know Nate. As you said, he's not playing softball with us, and we're not playing at all. But Nate, here's Nate, right? I've gotten to know Nate by way of the branch, which is the service we call it our alternative service here. And it's a much less structured opportunity for worship. So with that, some of the benefits are you get to know people that you don't normally sit and talk with here. So Nate's one of those guys for me. Here's what Nate is, right? This man names his son Easton after the bat company. So that lets you know what you were looking at with Nate, right?
Yeah.
And Easton's name was chosen before he was born.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So.
and Nate's a big power hitter. Big power hitter. We were really looking forward to the middle of our lineup being pretty huge this coming year. So we've kind of walked through our softball roster. Anything else you want to say before we finish this broadcast tonight about our softball team?
Well, I tell you, for me, it's a good time for fellowship. I just enjoy playing with these folks. Some good ball players, but. Told my wife I was going to play 1 or 2 years, and then all of these 20-somethings came in here, and they just make it fun again.
Right.
I can't get out there and run with them and all that sort of thing, but they make it a lot of fun.
Right, yeah. It's been a great addition to our overall church ministry, and we're sure there will be some comments in the comment section of this video posting. So, depending on what you say about it, we might bring this group back together and talk in the future time. We didn't give a scouting report on other churches' softball teams. Maybe we'll do that next. But,
there you go.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope this brought a few smiles to your face, and be sure to leave comments in the section before you cut out on this broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
Good night.
Good evening.